What's up, guys? I'm back. So my last video didn't like go viral, but it had like a lot of views, like 2,000 views. I don't know, that like made me so happy, and I got like 40 subs from it. So I'm like really excited to make videos again, because kind of discouraged for a while because I was like, oh, I don't know, like I didn't really get a lot of views. Like I just don't feel like this is going anywhere. I mean, I just was also really busy because of summertime, but it was just very validating and just like got me excited. So here we are back. This video we're gonna talk about how we can overcome adversity. Another way of saying it is like how to heal. Okay, I didn't want to label this video like how to heal from your trauma, because I don't feel like there is like a direct path. So I just labeled it as how to overcome your adversities. So before I start this video, I just want to say, like, if you are depressed or you know all that stuff, I'm not professional, like definitely get professional help. But I just wanted to make this video because I just feel like some people feel like they don't need therapy, or they don't want to go to therapy, they can't afford therapy, but they kind of want to do this themselves. So I just want to provide a different insight or guide, point of view or perspective on how I was able to heal and overcome my trauma. And I know a lot of people like to seek help from their friends, but again, like definitely seek out a professional if you can, because your friends can only help you as far as their experience has gotten them, and they can only help you so much. Friends are really there to support you, but they are not your therapist. Just please remember that. I was in therapy for 6 months, and I felt like after that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this myself, and I fucking did. I did. It took 2.5 years. Healing takes time. These things take time. As much as you don't want it to, it will take time. I know, and I'm sorry. When I was healing, right, my boyfriend was like, it took me like 2-3 years to get out of my slump. I was like, oh, I don't got time for that. But it's true. Like honestly, I feel like I sped through it, but some people take a lot longer. There's no time limit. There's no like, everyone is different. Everyone has different experiences, different traumas, all that stuff. Your time is not a race. Just because one person healed faster than the other doesn't mean like one is better than the other. We all process our emotions and feelings differently, so don't compare yourself, okay? Everyone's journey is different. So you want to get better. How do you level up, right? How do you move to the next step if you don't like where you are? Take a good look at your life, okay? Take a look at your habits, your environment, where you're living, your job, everything, your friends, your family, everything. Take a good look, reflect, and get honest with yourself. Are these friends good for you? Is this job good for you? Is this partner good for you? Get very honest with yourself. Don't be shy, okay? Write it down. A big thing I noticed when I was healing is like my reaction when I get triggered, okay? You will get triggered, okay? You will learn your triggers. You will understand what triggers you. And again, what happens to you is not your fault. You know, it's not your fault. Like, people did you dirty, your family treated you a certain way. Not your fault at all, okay? But it is your responsibility to move on. What you do after is on you, okay? And a big thing for me was working on my reaction, because when I get triggered, I get mad, and I start getting upset. Take a deep breath, relax, you know, look at what's triggering you and just feel it. We like to intellectualize like what we're feeling, so I'd be like, oh, I'm so angry right now, but just feel the anger. Don't label it. Just feel the emotion, and it will pass. Honestly, a big thing I learned is, in order to actually really heal, you have to get triggered over and over and over again. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but you get triggered over and over again until you get to the point where it doesn't bother you anymore. You start changing how you react and how you feel about it, and easy peasy, okay? It takes time, but I promise you will get there. I said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. Audit everything. Audit your friends, audit your family. Sometimes we stay around in certain relationships, friendships, or environments because of history, because of how comfortable we feel. It's just something we feel like we just don't want to leave. And sometimes it's easier to stay than to leave. Sometimes we don't want to deal with the backlash or the confrontation if we want to let certain things, places, people go. But you know, if you want to get to a place you've never been before, you're gonna have to do things you've never done before. Get comfortable with being comfortable. I'm sorry, be the bearer of bad news, but crucial in healing, okay? Sometimes when you start healing yourself, that's where you learn where all your real homies are, okay? Because a lot of the times you become friends with people where your mindset is, right? I was a huge people pleaser, certified, okay? So I always bought stuff for my friends, I always catered to them, I always did everything they wanted to do, put their needs before mine. When I started healing and I withdrew myself and I started putting myself first, a lot of people did not like that, or they responded not well, because they would get upset that I'm not telling them stuff. They would get upset that like I stopped doing things for them. Pretty much, you know, people become friends with you with how you can benefit them, and then when you no longer benefit them, they're like, why? And then, you know, they stop being your friends, okay? You know, I didn't want to believe that, but it is what it is, okay? And again, this goes with my last point. You have to be very serious with your healing. When you're very serious with your healing and people start saying stuff, you can't go back. You can't, if someone is like, oh, you changed, you know, I don't like how you are now, you can't just give up on your healing just to make someone else happy. You have to be so serious with your healing that nothing else matters. If people want to say something, let them say it. If they don't want to be in your life, let them leave. Like, hold the door open for them. The exit is this way. You have to be so serious and put yourself first. And if you're a recovering people pleaser like me, or you're just so scared of like not having love or not having friends, I know it's tough. It's weird when you put yourself first. You feel selfish, you feel greedy, it feels wrong, but it's the right thing to do, I promise, okay? I finally can say no to people without feeling bad. It took a while to get there, but we there. And I talk about, like, you know, bad friends, but there's also good friends too. So definitely in this time is also when, like, again, you find your real homies, right? So your real homies will be there for you. They will support you during this hard time. They will listen to you cry. They will listen to you talk about the same thing over and over again until one day you're finally sick of it and you're like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Those are your real friends, okay? Thank God I have a good support system that helped me through therapy, because I don't know what I would have done without my homies. And during this time when I was healing, I like to listen to like a lot of podcasts with self-improvement. I like to read a lot of self-help books. I just do what you need to do to like help you get through this, or help you have a more open perspective on your traumas and like how you want to live your life and how to overcome these things. Take your time. I cannot emphasize this enough. I said this already, but seriously, take your time. Like, this is really not a race. I know we always want to be like, I don't want to hurt anymore, I don't want to get over this, but you really need your body to bring all these suppressed emotions to the surface, and you need to release it, whether it be crying, going to a rage room, or just working out, anything, picking up hobbies. Your body needs time to feel the feelings that you've been suppressing for years. And even till this day, I still have like certain feelings that like I didn't even think like I had, but like a song could trigger it, a certain event can trigger it. So definitely find ways to release the grief. A lot of this is pretty much grief. I felt a lot of grief in how friends treated me. I found a lot of grief in what I let slide. I also found a lot of grief in myself, because at the end of the day, external factors only do so much, because you also play a role in your own suffering. I know it's very hard to believe that, oh, like I hurt myself. Yes, you did. Okay, you have to get out of that victim mindset, because you probably said things and done things with the mindset you have. It's not your fault. You played a major role in your own suffering. And I played victim for so long, but I realized, like, at the end of the day, I did put myself in certain situations. I said certain things in certain situations. I probably could have handled certain situations more gracefully, but I didn't know, you know, it's not my fault. But now I'm aware of it, and I will not repeat like those mistakes in the future. That's how you learn how to heal. It was like when I figured out it was my fault for certain things, it was like a low blow to my ego, you know, because no one wants to believe like that they're at fault, right? It's always easier to blame someone else than you. I had to really sit with myself. You have to really sit with the grief, right? You have to really sit with these feelings. Accountability, like, you know, maybe I was not a good friend. Maybe I wasn't a good girlfriend. You know, maybe I'm not a good daughter. And I'm not saying like I'm the worst, but I'm just saying it takes two to tango. For example, my mom really didn't let me have secrets, so I tend to overshare, right? It's not my fault I tend to overshare. It's not my fault I kept telling everyone everything and I couldn't keep any secrets. That's not my fault. But I can't be like, oh, that's how I was raised, that's what my mom did to me. That's what I mean, like an example. So now moving forward, like I understand that I'm allowed to keep things to myself, and I keep my mouth shut now. Mind my own damn business, okay? Stop trying to fix everything, okay? You can only heal so much. I remember like when I was like at the peak of healing therapy, I was always like, oh, I want to fix this, I want to fix this, I want to do this and that, like what's wrong with me? I was nitpicking at everything, but At the end of the day, you can only fix so much. Like, the whole point of life is to enjoy it too. And I don't believe that you can ever really fully heal. You integrate all this into your everyday life. At the end of the day, all the things you don't like about yourself is what people told you. For example, I have crazy body dysmorphia because of my mom, and I'm Asian. You know, Asian people are always like, oh, you're fat, blah, 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 right? So I'm learning how to love myself now, my body, and all that. It's not easy. It's not easy. Breaking old habits and learning old mindsets, difficult, but not impossible, okay? Always remember, difficult, but not impossible, okay? You're integrating all your past pains into your current self, okay? And you learn to love all these dark parts of you, or the parts that like you don't like. But that's who you are as well. Nobody is perfect. Nobody's perfect. I don't care what you say on social media. I don't care who you know who has the perfect life. Nobody's perfect. We all have flaws, okay? We are perfectly imperfect. That's the only thing we're perfect with, is being imperfect. With that being said, you will have phases. You will have phases where you feel like you're okay and you're like, oh, you know what? I think I'm alright now. But then you get humbled real quick. You know, life throws tests at you and be like, are you sure you're over it? What really helped me was, instead of thinking like, oh my god, like, why is this happening to me? I think of, what is this trying to teach me? Once I switch that, everything I encounter, I'm like, okay, like, this is trying to help me overcome something. This is something I should work on. What is it? So instead of playing victim, like, oh, life is so hard, life hates me, I always think life is happening for me, not to me, okay? That's really helped me get over a lot of things. Trust me, I have crazy mommy issues, alright? But you know, you okay now. How to really heal is just one day, you're just gonna get so tired of being hurt. You just get so sick of your own shit. You get so sick of everything that you're just like, you know what? I don't want to feel this way anymore. And then you will make the decision, and then you know what? You will take the steps to get there. Because healing is not easy. Like, change is not easy. Especially hardwire things that you've been like trained like your whole life. And you cannot make someone change if they don't want to. Just because you're healing and think everyone should heal or go to therapy doesn't mean they want to or they should. That's like the sad truth. So you also can feel kind of lonely during this time. You might feel lonely, you might feel alone, but it's okay. Just because you're alone doesn't mean you're lonely, alright? Okay? And sometimes it's better to just be with yourself than have like outside influences telling you this and that and just like making it harder for you. This is a good time to kind of recalibrate yourself, get to know yourself, get to know like your morals, values, what aligns with you, and seek out people, places, and things that align with you. Pretty much that's what healing is. You're just recalibrating your life. You're just like, it's a big reset. Yeah. It's not easy, but it's definitely worth it. It's also, it's not for the weak. Not for the faint of heart, because it's not easy. I promise you, like, your ego won't get hurt, okay? But I think it's worth it. And it's also like, you see what's wrong with people and you kind of just stay clear of it, and you're like, oh no, I'm okay, I don't want to be involved with this. When people, you can tell when people play victim, you can tell like when people don't want to take accountability, they just make excuses. Your discernment gets better when you meet new people, and then you are able to not put yourself in certain situations that you were in before, because now you know better, you've learned, you've healed, you've done the work, get better at your discernment. But this is the dumbed down version of the things that helped me heal. Okay, healing is a lifelong journey, in my humble opinion. It's something you learn to live with, and it's honestly not all bad. At the end of the day, we're just human, okay? And don't forget to enjoy your life. Take your time. I hope this helped. I hope you get to where you want to be. It's not an easy journey, and it's not for the faint of heart. It is very rewarding. Once you realize it's really not that serious. It's okay to not always be right. It's okay like to just exist. I wish you luck on your healing journey. I believe that you can overcome anything you want to. Even if it takes a while, take baby steps. Baby steps is still a step in the right direction. So as long as you keep trying and you do your best, it will always lead to good results. But I hope that helped. Love you guys.